Every night, at exactly 2:30 a.m., the light in his apartment turned on. Not earlier, not later. Always the same minute. From the street below, it didn't look strange. Just one window, one quiet light. In a city full of them. But after a while, people started to notice. The light never turned on during the day. It never stayed on past sunrise, and it never changed. No matter the season, no matter the weather, no matter what was happening outside, at 2:30 a.m., the light appeared. Streetlights stood still, like they were guarding secrets. Rain tapped gently on empty roads. As if the night itself was breathing. No cars, no voices, just wind. And time. Most people were dreaming. Some were pretending to sleep, and a few were wide awake for reasons they couldn't explain. Before going any deeper, welcome to my channel, Forgotten Paths. We don't just tell stories, we create emotional spaces. Subscribe and turn on the bell to stay connected with us. Now, let's continue. In the middle of the city, there was an apartment building just like any other. Dark windows, silent balconies. Nothing special, except one thing. A single window, still glowing. That light meant someone was awake. Someone thinking, someone trapped inside their own thoughts. Inside that room, a man sat quietly. He didn't look tired. He looked stuck. The clock on the wall showed 2:30 a.m. He didn't check it. He already knew, because every night, at exactly the same time, his thoughts arrived uninvited. He tried to distract himself, phone in hand, screen glowing, but scrolling felt empty. Messages felt pointless. Sleep felt impossible. Some nights don't ask you to rest. They ask you to remember. And this night was one of them. Rain slid down the windows slowly. Each drop felt like a thought. He didn't want to finish. He wondered how many people were awake right now, thinking the same things. Regret, hope, fear. At 2:30, everyone becomes honest with themselves. Across the street, another window flickered, then went dark. Some people fall asleep easily. Others fight with their minds. Until morning wins. The city didn't judge. It just watched. Every building held a story. Every room hid a truth. Something felt different tonight. Not louder, not clearer, just heavier. The air felt tight. The silence felt closer. Like the night was waiting for something to happen or someone to remember something they had buried. He stood up. The floor creaked softly beneath his feet. The clock ticked once more. 2:30, he didn't know why, but he felt it. This wasn't just another sleepless night. This was the night everything started to change. The night doesn't rush. It never does. It just sits there, heavy, quiet, watching. Every light in the city feels distant, like it belongs to someone else. I can hear the hum of faraway cars. The soft flicker of neon signs. The faint whispers of life moving somewhere beyond my reach. I stand still, not because I want to, but because moving feels unnecessary. In this silence, my thoughts grow louder. Not dramatic, not explosive, just persistent. Questions without answers, memories without faces, feelings without names, the kind of quiet that feels heavy, almost tangible. Sometimes it feels like the world keeps moving, and I'm frozen, suspended in a moment that doesn't belong to anyone. I look out at the city. So many lives, so many stories. Yet this moment feels like it belongs only to me. The wind brushes past, not cold, not warm, just there, carrying the faint scent of rain on concrete. Streetlights flicker, shadows stretch and shrink, and time moves differently at night. Minutes stretch, seconds echo. In this stillness, I begin to hear myself. Not the version I showed to the world, not the one I hide behind. The quieter one, the honest one, the one that admits it's tired. Tired of explaining, tired of pretending, tired of carrying thoughts that never leave. The city doesn't judge. It doesn't ask questions. It just exists. And somehow, that makes it easier to breathe. The sky starts to change. Slowly, softly, dark blue deepens, then lightens at the edges. The city exhales. This is the hour most people never see, when night hasn't left, and morning hasn't arrived. I walk slowly, each step grounded. Each breath steady. There's no destination, just movement. The streets are empty, the alleys quiet, faint echoes of distant footsteps. Streetlights fade one by one. Shadows grow thinner. The hum of the city is faint, almost a whisper. This moment feels fragile, like it could break if touched. And maybe that's the point. Even in silence, even in loneliness, time keeps going. The night didn't defeat me. It didn't save me either. It just passed. And sometimes that's enough. Not answers, not clarity, just the knowledge that I'm still here, still standing, still breathing. The first hint of daylight touches the buildings, soft, careful, a delicate light brushing across rooftops, spilling into alleys, reflecting in puddles left by the night. Another day waits, not promising anything, not demanding anything, just waiting. And for the first time in hours, that doesn't feel heavy. I take a slow step forward, and then another. The city is quiet, the streets are calm. And for a brief, fleeting moment, it feels like I am exactly where I am meant to be. There's a moment, somewhere between night and morning, where the city stops pretending. Not loud, not dramatic, just honest. I didn't plan to stay awake this long. I really didn't. But sleep never came, and forcing it felt useless. My body was tired, but my thoughts weren't finished yet. So I stood there, near the window, watching lights that didn't care if I was okay or not. And that's when it hit me. Maybe my life wasn't broken. Maybe I was just exhausted from holding it together for people who weren't even watching anymore. Have you ever felt that? Like you're still performing, but the room is empty. I thought about all the things I kept pushing away, the calls I never returned, the ideas I said I'd chase one day. The version of me I slowly buried because it felt safer to stay quiet than to explain myself again. The clock kept moving. not rushing me, not waiting either. And for the first time in a long while, I didn't blame it. Time wasn't stealing from me. I was handing pieces of myself away. Every time I chose comfort over honesty. Every time I stayed where I was familiar instead of where I was growing. Outside, the city didn't look asleep anymore. It looked patient, like it had seen this moment 1,000 times before. Like it knew this is where people either change, repeat themselves forever. I stood there longer than I expected, not thinking, just feeling the weight of everything I never said out loud. And quietly, without drama, I decided something. I wouldn't disappear anymore. Morning didn't arrive with answers. It arrived with light. Soft, careful, almost shy. The kind of light that doesn't judge what you did last night, but still sees everything. The kind of light that doesn't judge what you did last night, but still sees everything. I watched the sky change colors slowly, like it was giving me time to catch up. And I realized something. Healing isn't about fixing your entire life in one morning. It's about finally stopping the fight with yourself. I didn't suddenly feel strong. I didn't feel fearless. I didn't feel new. I just felt present. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't running ahead of my life, and I wasn't hiding behind it either. I was inside it, breathing, standing. Here, you don't wake up one day and become a better version of yourself. You wake up one day and stop betraying the one you already are. That's how it starts. No applause, no fireworks. Just small choices stacking quietly in the background. The clock was still ticking, but it didn't sound threatening anymore. It sounded fair, like a reminder, not of what I lost, but of what I still had time to become. I don't know where this road leads. I don't know if I'll get everything right, but I know this. I'm done living on pause. Done waiting for permission. Done shrinking my life to fit into places that were never meant to hold me. And if you're listening to this right now, at some strange hour, wondering why these words feel a little too familiar, maybe this isn't just my story. Maybe it's yours. And maybe this is the moment you stop watching time pass and start walking with it. Not fast, not perfect, just forward.